call our income generation conversation. There's an article back in your kits that I was quoted in U.S. News and World Report on how do you build a recession-proof portfolio. And I said to U.S. News and World Report, I said, change the name of that article till on Monday I thought I could retire, now it's Tuesday. So the frames associated with it. Because no recession, depression has ever lasted 5 years. My phone doesn't even ring with this market. All right? Because my clients call up and it says, anything in your life change? No? We're not changing the strategy. All right? So this is how we end up developing them and say that if you think about it, every day we have all these fundamental factors hitting us. We have economic concerns, global political concerns, scientific change, technological change, social and cultural change. All those things are impacting us. And what happens is the typical individual there is feeling confused. They don't know what to believe, who to believe. Just change the channel if you don't like what you're hearing. All right? They're isolated. They feel alone. They don't know who they can turn to get good, sound, independent, clear advice without any ultimate motivation at the end of the day. And they're powerless. I mean, what's interesting is you turn on 5 different radio TV shows. You guys have all been to broker-dealer conferences, so let's just put it in that sense, which I love. So you go to the broker-dealer conference, and all of a sudden the guy from Putnam gets up there talking about how momentum growth funds are going to be great this year. Then Bill Gross gets up there and says, I think this is the year for bonds. And then the value manager from American Funds gets up and says, you know what, I think value investing is going to be great. Then the small cap, I mean, you're sitting there going, okay, I've listened to 12 presentations, 12 guys managing money in different markets, and all 12 of them said why their mutual fund was going to be the place to put our money. That's what our clients are experiencing every day when they listen to the news. But that's the big picture. Now, I have this prop that I don't know if anybody's ever seen this prop, but I made it up. Years ago, I was flying back from your wonderful state, and California and San Francisco is one of those unique states, places that still has a morning and evening edition of the morning newspaper. Okay? Same newspaper, morning and evening edition. So I picked up the San Francisco Chronicle that morning, and this is what I read. Panic hits the stock market. Now, Sammy Sosa hit his 55th home run that year and tied McGuire. So what did the morning edition of the newspaper tell us? Oh man, this is going on again. Get me out of this thing. Get me out. I don't want to lose my shirt again. Well, the evening edition of that paper, the San Francisco Examiner, looked like this. All right? Sosa still only hit 55 home runs, but the stock market had the biggest one-day return in history. All right? The press reports the news. We're getting our advice, we're getting our guidance from the press that reports the news. They don't tell us what to do, they're telling us what happened.